because we're gonna pull out all the stops today for Costco. I hope they appreciate it. Hi guys, welcome back to Pavonine Studios Beauty and Art. My name is Amy. Today's video is going to be focusing on a few new things that I've purchased recently. So I made a purchase from Yesstyle, which if you don't know is a website where you can buy a lot of Korean products and Japanese products and that kind of thing. So I wanted to give some of these things a try based on the recommendation of Taylor Wynn. If you don't know who Taylor is, what are you doing here? Go watch her. But some of these products are ones that she raves about, and usually the things that work for her work for me, and so I wanted to give some of them a try. In addition to that, let me grab my bin. I got a big bin here. So in addition to that, I picked up a few of the Sydney Grace eyeshadows. I was tired of hearing people like rave about these and not knowing what all the fuss was about. So I placed an order and I picked up some of her shadows, and I have, if I would have known, I would have ordered 4 additional ones because it almost fills my little magnetic Coastal Scents palette. But I'm hoping that I can save 3 of these spots for the multi-chromes if when hopefully they come back in stock, and then get 1 more. But obviously I was in a green mood when I bought these because I bought a lot of green, and so I'm trying to decide. I may not wear these today, but I did want to share them because I do plan to do a video with them. But given the color of my shirt and stuff that I'm wearing today, I think I am going to play with the Melt Rust palette. And I just got this in my Sephora order yesterday, and I've already played with these just a tiny little bit, but it's a beautiful palette. It's neutral-ish, but the colors really spoke to me, especially this yellow right here called Erode. It's such a pretty color. When I was swatching the metallics, they seem really nice. The dark brown is actually dark brown, so I appreciate that. So I think I'm probably gonna play with that today. And I think I may also go ahead and, instead of using one of the shimmers from that palette, I may go ahead and try the Chromium liquid metallic multi-chrome shadow from Natasha Denona. And these are so tiny, but they do seem to pack quite a punch, so I'm kind of excited to play with that. And this is the shade Dogbane. I also have the Scarab color, but that's more of a green, and this is a little bit more of a red, so I think I'm gonna play with that one today. So I'm not gonna ramble on too much. I'll try to point out the new stuff as I go along, but I'm going to start with my eyes, of course, and I'm going to prime with I think I'm gonna go ahead and prime with the Anastasia primer today. For my foundation, I think although I've got several here, like I picked up the new NARS foundation. This is the soft matte one. I'm not gonna use that today, but I wanna try this one from PeriPera, and I don't remember, this was really affordable, and I got the shade 3. I think there's only 3 shades, and so this is the darkest of the 3, which isn't honestly very dark, and I picked up a couple of the Purito I can't get over the word snail in the description. Snail clearing BB cream. And I got 2 colors of this, and one of them's a little on the dark side and one's pretty good, so I'll probably play with those. I was a little bit disappointed that I ordered the Misha Perfect Cover BB cream, and I got the shade 23, and it's just a little bit too dark for me. I do like the undertones, so I definitely will be mixing something with this to get a little bit lighter shade. But I'm not going to do that today either. Another thing that I picked up was this little set of sponges from Yesstyle, and they have like different colors and stuff like that. I don't think there's any difference other than the color, but it's like a little set of 3, and this one I've already dampened, so it does get, it's nice. It feels really nice. It feels nice and soft and bouncy, and but not too like floppy, if that makes sense. So we are going to get into it. I picked up some blushes and some bronzers and things like that. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna jump right in. Start with my eyeballs like I usually do. I feel like my lights are really, really bright today. Are they really bright? I'm gonna turn them down. So I probably won't do a lot of chit-chatting today. I always say that, and then I manage to go on and on. I'm not going to do anything exciting, dramatic, whatever. I just want to play with these and see what the colors are like and stuff. Let me zoom you in just a little bit. All right, I am going to go into the color, I think I'm going to go into the color Antique, which is just kind of a nice peachy shade. Put that, start with that in my crease and see what happens. Now I think the Rest Stack had pretty good reviews. I know not every melt palette has had good reviews, like the, oh gosh, what is it called? Is it the 420 palette? I heard that one was really bad. Well, not really bad, but just not quite up to the standards that the melt stacks have always had, which I don't have any of those, but I've always heard that they were really nice. So we're just starting with that in the crease, upper crease area. And okay, I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush. Actually, I think I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm going to go into that Erode color. That's the yellow mustardy color. I'm basically just going to go right over what I just did, only not bring it up quite as far. So far I'm not having any trouble blending or anything, especially given the fact that I've got a little bit of dryness going on my lids, a little bit of texture, which doesn't make me happy, but just kind of go around those edges just to make sure everything's nice and blended. Okay, I'm going to take that, I think I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to go into the color Rubbish, which is kind of a neat, kind of a pukey brown color. So yeah, I'm not having any trouble blending these out at all. I am going to take a little tiny brush, this little guy right here, and I am going to go into the color Rust, which is predictably kind of a rusty brown, and I'm really going to focus that in the crease. I just want a little bit more warmth in the crease. This isn't particularly a lot darker. It is a little bit darker than the one I just did, but brush. And I'm going to pick up that darkest brown, and we're going to put that in the outer V. This brown is so brown, so dark as to almost be black. And honestly, I kind of appreciate that, because I can always pick up one of the other warmer colors like mar or rust or something like that, and also pick it up on my brush and kind of mix the two if I feel like I need a little bit more warmth or a little bit, you know, just bring it up a notch. So I'm really just kind of packing it on this outer, oh, what would you say, third of my eye. Bring it into my crease just a tiny bit. And then I am going to pick up a little blending brush. This is the one I was using earlier. And just kind of start blending those edges out a little bit. I'm not so worried about blending right here, right now. So I'm going to take that little tiny guy and I am going to pick up a little bit more of the Erode, which is the mustardy shade, and I'm just going to use that right around the edges, and I'm using a really light hand. I just want to make sure that I can see that. I'm going to take that little tapered brush and I'm going to go into the color Mar, which is the next to darkest brown. I'm going to put that right in the crease on the inner, oh, say inner half. Again, just to add a little bit of warmth without going, you know, too dark. I am going to go into the Chromium Liquid Eyeshadow in Dogbane. And I'm using I'm going to use a relatively small flat brush. And I'm going to pick it up. It has a little doe foot applicator, but I'm going to pick it up with this brush because I want a little bit more control than these little applicators give me. Start patting that on my eyelid. And I'm going to bring it up a little bit because glittery shades on my eyelid usually end up there anyway. So I'm almost cutting my crease, but not quite. I just want to kind of prevent a gap between my lid and whatever would normally transfer up above my crease. And I'm going to go maybe 2/3 of the way and then just kind of lightly pat that out on that edge. So you get a little bit, you get a nice blend with that darkest color. I'm going to kind of I'm going to let this dry a little bit. I'm going to kind of keep looking down, fan my eyes, just so that things kind of set. All right, we're going to leave it there. But so far, I mean, I like this palette, or at least I think I do. A little bit of fallout, but not bad. All right, I'm going to clean up just a tiny bit, and I will go back in with some of those shades and do my lower lash line after I do my foundation. It's supposed to be really hot today, and I am going out for a bit. I'm going to Costco. Living the dream, don't you know? So I'm going to use my Josie Marin SPF 50. Okay. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. I'm going to go make another coffee, and I will be back and we will jump into this foundation that I'm really excited about trying. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, I've got my third coffee of the day, and don't you love this cup? It was a gift. Like a boss, but with less money. That would be me. Okay, so we are going to dive right into the ink lasting cover from PeriPera, and I'm going to shake this up. It doesn't say to do that, I don't think. Of course, most of the writing in here is in Korean, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the back of my hand. Okay, this is a pretty pretty thin formula. I think I'm gonna grab my It Cosmetics foundation brush, pick a little bit of that up, and we are going to dive in. I'm always sad when these really great products like this don't have a better shade range, but that's pretty typical of the Asian brands, is that they just normally don't have a lot of color selection, which is sad because that's a lot of people that you're eliminating from using your product. It's like, that just seems like shooting yourself in the foot, you know? And I don't remember if this has like a satiny finish or a natural finish or a... Bring down my neck a little bit. So this is a little more yellow than I might normally like, but I could always mix in a little bit of that Misha one I was talking about earlier that's quite dark and much more neutral, and see what that does. I may do that. Maybe I'll do that for a Mix It Monday, just to... It's definitely looking glowy. I can still see a couple of things poking through, which honestly doesn't bother me that much. And I took out too much foundation. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the sponge that I got from Yesstyle and go ahead and bounce over my face, pick up any excess. Really press that into my nose. Looks pretty, looks really pretty. Right now it's quite glowy, but I'm gonna give that a minute to kind of set down a little and go in with some concealer. All right, I'm gonna leave that there for the moment and just kind of let that set down for a minute, kind of dry down a little bit, just so that, you know, I can kind of assess how much I need to powder, or if I need to powder. In the meantime, I'm gonna grab the concealer brush from Rare Beauty. I really like this brush for my concealer. I think I have a new favorite, and I am going to grab my Giorgio Armani concealer and just put a little bit of this on. Yeah, no problem blending that concealer over that foundation. No problem blending that concealer over that foundation at all. Just tap that out just a tiny bit. And I like to powder under my eyes lightly. And I'm just going to use my NARS Crystal powder. I am going to powder a little bit because it feels a little tacky, a little damp. And I'm going to powder a little bit with my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, which is pretty standard for me unless I'm looking for something that's a little bit more glowy, and then I'll go in with the By Terry one. But for today, we're doing this guy. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this color is really good for me right now. I was a little concerned that it was going to be too yellow, but I think it's okay. Yeah. Looks really nice. I'm pleased. So far, I am pleased. So I'm going to grab the PeriPera Ink V, Ink 5, I don't know, shading, and this is the Photo Ready in Cacao Brown. This is what it looks like. So there's like three colors in it, and the one in the middle is quite a cool color, which I kind of like. I'm just gonna take my bronzing brush and I'm just gonna swirl it in everywhere because I don't really plan to contour or anything like that today. So okay, so it's not full glam, but I just wanted to. This is the shade Cacao Brown. This is number 2. So I think there are 3, and this is, I believe, the medium shade. That would make sense if it's number 2. That's really pretty. I love bronzer and stuff, but boy, it can be really hard to find the right thing. At least I have trouble finding the right thing. It's like I don't want it too cool, I don't want it too warm. If it's too warm, I might as well just use it as a blush. I've got a million bronzers that are kind of like that are just not the right thing. And I feel very strange using a powder bronzer today, since I've been using the Fenty cream bronzer so much this summer. And I have one of the powder ones too, but I've just been reaching for the cream one. So I'm going to kind of focus my brush on that darkest shade, and I'm just going to kind of pinch my brush a little bit. This isn't really contouring, but this is about the amount of contouring I like to do. And then just kind of, sorry about I know that drives people crazy when you have hair in the way, but I can't help it. It's little baby. There's nothing, I couldn't clip those back if I tried. So I feel like that looks really nice. Very subtle, which I kind of appreciate. Pretty, yeah, so I like that. So for my blush, I went out on kind of a limb and got some different colors. And this is the Peach Cotton Blusher. Apricot, I think is the color. And it's kind of light and it's kind of yellowy, and I kind of like it. I'm gonna go in with my fan brush because I have no idea how light, dark, pigmented, whatever this is, and I want a little bit of control. And I am wearing kind of a peachy shirt today, not peachy, but warm color. Oh, I like that. Just because it's, well, not just because, but it's different. You know, how many peach and rose and mauve and whatever blushes can one girl have? Well, apparently you can have a lot, because I have a lot, but I got the, this one is called Lavender, and sorry that's not really picking up on the screen very well. This is quite a light color, so I don't even know if that one will show up on me. I'm not sure who that would show up on. But then I got, these are from the Saem, S-A-E-M brand. I don't know how you say that. And I got this one that is orange, and this is the shade Selfie Orange. This is the shade Selfie Orange, which cracks me up. And then I got this one in the shade Honey Yellow. And I know, yellow blush, it's like, really? But I actually did play with that a little bit before I took my makeup off last night. It's really cool. There's just something about it that's really cool. I don't know, I really liked it. Anyway, okay, so that'll be for another time. I don't have a new highlighter. So I think I'm gonna go into the Revolution highlighter in Dare to Divulge. This is kind of a little bit more of a peachy highlighter. I don't want anything to like conflict with what I've got going on, so we're just gonna put a little bit of that on. This is a really pretty highlight and pretty easy to build, but pretty easy to you know, make sheer. And I'm using quite a fluffy brush, so if you used a denser one you would get more impact. I'm gonna put something on my lips because they're feeling dry. So I'm going to line with a little bit of MAC cork, and I am going to go over that with my go-to these days, which is Fresh Brew, also from MAC. Alright, I am going to work on my brows, my favorite part. We're going to leave the brows at that. Now that I've got my brows done, I'm going to go ahead and do the lower waterline here. I'm going to grab my Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pencil Matte Sienna, and I'm going to line my waterline with that. I do like this color. This is really nice. It's kind of a rusty color, so I quite like that. And I picked up the Clio waterproof pen liner in, I guess this is the color Kill Black. That's kind of an interesting name. So this is a it's a felt tip pen, which I like. A lot of people don't like the felt tip ones, but it does seem like it has, you know, a nice fine line. So I'm going to go ahead and off camera I'm going to do my liner, my wing liner, and put some lashes on, and I think, oh, and spray my face before I do all that. And I think that is going to do it for the makeup. I will come back and kind of reassess what I'm thinking as far as the foundation and the eyeshadow and the blush and all the new things that I tried today. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, I am back and I've got the rest of my makeup on, which basically was just my eyelashes and stuff. So I just wanted to go over some final thoughts before I get out of here and go run my errands and get on with my day, and I will do a check-in. I promise I will do a check-in. But for now, the foundation, which honestly is probably the thing that most people are interested in, looks really, really nice. I don't have anything, you know, negative to say about it right at this point. I did spray with a little bit of the Collab Grand Finale spray, just because I think I got a little heavy-handed with the powder, and so things were looking a little bit more powdery than I like them to. When I wear this again, I think I will be a little bit more careful about how much I put around the center of my face, just because this is pretty decent coverage. I don't know if it's supposed to be you know, full coverage, medium, high medium, buildable. I don't know. I'll find out and I will let you know at my check-in. But at any rate, I do like the way that this looks, and I'm happy with the blush and stuff that I used today. It's kind of different. And the eyeshadow, so far so good. Natasha Denona Chromium liquid eyeshadow is real pretty, real pretty. Whether or not it's worth $28 for this little tiny guy, we'll see. It's definitely easy to put on, and you know, so I appreciate that. So the eyeliner from Yesstyle that I picked up is nice. It's I didn't have any problems with it. It's got a nice felt tip, and you know, I don't have tons of experience with different liquid liners, and as long as they stay where I put them and they aren't something that I have to fuss a lot with as far as building up, then you know, I tend to be okay with them. So this one's nice. I think it was under $10, so that's a good price point. I'll list everything down below and try to remember to put prices and stuff, but at the very least put some links so that you can go investigate yourself. But the eyeshadow, the Melt Rust, let me pull it out here, is really pretty. I don't have any complaints about it at this point, and I'm kind of excited to play with this guy again and see what other kind of looks I can come up with. I will come back and do a check-in for you, let you know how the foundation especially is wearing, and if I note anything extraordinary about the eyeshadow or anything like that, I will definitely let you know. So I'm going to leave it there for now, guys, and I will do a check-in and probably insert that right about now. Hi guys, I just wanted to do a quick little check-in. My makeup has been on today for about 9.5 hours or so, and I did go out today and it was really hot and I wore a mask. My foundation held up really nicely. It kind of settled a little bit around my nose and around my mouth, those places where, you know, foundation tends to kind of do things I don't like. But you have to remember you're also wearing a mask, you know, over most of your face, and yeah, it was hot and sweaty and everything. And so I think all things considered, the foundation wore pretty nicely. It didn't hold up under my sunglasses, but then no foundation does, like ever. I don't know. I've tried the tricks and everything and they just don't, you know, work as far as I'm concerned. But so it's worn off right there. Other than it collecting around my nose and stuff, it doesn't look bad. I mean, I'm perfectly happy with this foundation, and I'm really looking forward to wearing it again. I don't think I mentioned when I put this on that this does have an SPF of 30. It's definitely got some glow to it, and I like that. I fear that if you were a super oily girl or boy, you wouldn't like this foundation. It might not hold up the best for you. I don't know. My skin's pretty normal, normal to dry, so I can't really speak to that. But if you have normal to dry skin, I think that you would like this foundation quite nicely. So yeah, even my eye makeup still looks good. Remember that I use the Chromium liquid eyeshadow from Natasha Denona. These are really, they're really pretty. Do I think they're as impactful as, say, the Cliona shadows or something like that? No, I don't. But they are quite effortless. You don't have to worry about fallout, that kind of thing. It didn't seem to crease or anything like that on me. It's still pretty and sparkly, but it does not have that sort of metal wet foil kind of effect that some multi-chromes do, like from some indie brands. Today's makeup, I feel like, was a big success because I don't have anything of note that I didn't like or that fell apart or anything like that. So I think I'm just gonna leave my check-in there because yeah, I'm happy. So thank you guys so much for joining me today for trying out some new Kbeauty, Jbeauty products and new foundation, new eyeshadows, all that good stuff. I do like to do kind of a full face of new stuff, and although I didn't have everything new, I had a lot of new stuff today. So I really appreciate your time here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, ring that bell for notification for whenever I upload a new video. And until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.